What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving supervised video. We're here in the Cybertruck on version 12.5.5.2, and I have a couple of places I need to be today, and we're going to see if FSD can take us there. It's not a challenging gauntlet. It's just like more a daily use case, which I'm not sure I've done with Cybertruck for you yet. And I want to show you how it is using daily when I'm not trying to torture test it and stuff. Of course, that's fun, and more of that is coming in the future. But today I got a couple places to go. I'm stopping at Best Buy, and then I'm actually taking the Cybertruck to service to do a couple warranty things, get the tires rotated since I'm there anyway. I'm having them rotate the tires and some other stuff. So we're going to take it there. Seems FSD still doesn't want to start the drive. It doesn't want to pull out here. We have one car approaching, and after that car, I'm going to give it an accelerator tap. But yeah, version 12, for whatever reason, does not like to start. And this wasn't happening for me for a long time, so it's still not going. So one accelerator tap, and there we go. Now it will start off, and it takes off nicely with that one tap. So I'm not sure what that's about. It just does not want to start the drive. So we're starting off here. I got us a couple of speed bumps here. You know, I did this in the other one with the Model Y, and very nicely done there. I'm not going to lie, Cybertruck could eat these for breakfast. We could go flying over these. It honestly would not be a problem. But it is nice to see that FSD can see them and respond to them accordingly. So with this update, this is the first. So Cybertruck got FSD almost a month ago at the end of September. Right on time. It came to early access testers, and then within 24 hours, it was rolling out. I think most Cybertrucks had it within 24 hours, which is just awesome that the Tesla AI team kind of stuck to that goal and, you know, got FSD to Cybertruck just in the nick of time to follow, their plan. Now, next coming up here for FSD, by the end of October, so in a couple of days here, we're supposed to have full self-driving version 13, which they're also supposed to add reverse, auto parking in FSD and coming out of park. All right, that was going to hit that curve. I maybe didn't need to react that dramatically, but the steer by wire, a little move will make you move really quickly there. So you can see I avoided that curb there. Oh, I missed the voice note, but you know, I'm not gonna lie, that happens a lot. So they have a lot of voice notes from me of that. So Cybertruck, well, let me finish with version 13 stuff, and then I'll tell you some of my Cybertruck problems like you just saw. So yeah, in a couple of days. Now, does it look like we're probably getting that? As of right now, no, it doesn't exactly look like we're gonna get that, but all they gotta do is push the update out. We don't know how far along they are with version 13. We don't know if it's almost done and they're just gonna click a button and send it out the last day. Tesla has been talking about version 12.5.6.2 being rolled out, so they're working on another version 12 branch before version 13 is coming, which, like, you know, maybe that goes to everyone and version 13 goes to early testers. You know, it's all speculation. We don't know for sure, but hopefully that'll be coming soon. But if it doesn't come within the next couple of days, that'll be the first thing on the list that the Tesla AI team has not kind of gotten out on time after they publish that list. So that would be an interesting development kind of either way, whether version 13 comes out or not. We're learning something. So, all right, as you saw with the me taking over there with the curb, the turns and stuff on Cybertruck with this update. So what we're looking at now, Cybertruck got 12.5.5, and then it got 12.5.5.2 as its first update after receiving FSD. And I kind of made a little update video. You know, we drove around and checked some stuff out. And actually, I'm not sure I've done 12. Oh, I did it on the highway. Sorry, I've made so many videos the past week. I am just like, in my head is rattled. So this update seemed to fix a couple of my complaints in that, number one, Cybertruck was riding on the line a lot. Number two, Cybertruck was taking turns too sharp or not sharp enough. And now some of those things are back. So I wasn't seeing them. And I have a whole highway drive I posted where you guys can see that entire highway drive. We didn't ride the line. We didn't do any of that. And I was like, wow, they actually like gave us an update. It took a little longer than I thought. I thought the initial Cybertruck update would come out really quick. But either way, I was like, wow, they sent us this update and they fixed like kind of the main things I'm complaining about. But they've resurfaced. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. But in terms of like those types of things coming and going, those issues. But like this morning on the way to work, the thing was riding the line a lot, and not just around a bend and then fixing itself. It was like riding the line and just staying on the side yellow line or staying on the white line for long periods of time. So that was kind of annoying. And then as you saw with that turn there, it was gonna go right over that curb, which again, like that curb was tiny, and I'm not saying it's okay for FSD to drive on that kind of stuff, but in terms of just this vehicle, it could have drove over that. Even a Model 3 could have probably drove over that with no problem. But in the Model Y, I've done that same turn a million times recently, and it doesn't have a problem. Cybertruck is just, it just still feels like it doesn't exactly know its size. Like it thinks it's the size of like a Model Y or a Model 3, and is driving around thinking that. I have no idea if that's true, but that's what it feels like as like my first hand user experience. So we're about to go through downtown here, just heading to Best Buy again. I didn't put a million routes in. I just put Best Buy, and then after that, we're going to the service center. So yeah, we're gonna let FSD take over and see if it can, we already have one disengagement. We'll see if it can get us there with no more. This video is brought to you by Joa, maker of premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your discount by using the link in the description below. All right, we got a parallel parker, and FSD is going around them perfectly. We did have a lead car to guide us there, but yeah, everything about that move was perfect. And what was really nice is that it felt smooth, and it correctly placed itself where it needed to be. Again, I'm very weary of it still cutting turns too close or too far or whatever, because it just does it so often. So passing a car like that and staying far away, not making me think it's gonna, turn too quick into it or something, is nice to see. I mean, it seems pretty basic, but Cybertruck cuts those turns so often that it's definitely something I'm looking out for in those maneuvers. So you can see human pilot there making an error, even with the blinking lights. That person almost ran right in front of the person trying to cross. So here in Ann Arbor, when somebody presses that, you got to stop and wait for them. I'm sure other places have that, but that's how it works here. And yeah, I don't know, I don't know how you miss those blinking lights. It is something that FSD seems to get right sometimes, but not always. But yeah, we see a human there almost mess that up. All right, so far so good. All the stops have felt really good. Some of them felt like they got a little close, but when you pull up the front bumper cam and give it a look, you can tell that there's still a good amount of distance. It's just the way the nose of the Cybertruck is kind of designed. And it just, if you haven't driven one, it's hard to explain, but you feel like you're way, way, way closer than you actually are. So I tend to stay farther back from stuff than I need to. FSD seems to be a little more accurate than me in that, and so to me it can feel a little too close. It's also extremely windy today. I don't know if you can tell just from the trees and stuff bopping around, but that shouldn't really matter. Sometimes wind can, of course, like push your car around in the lane, but I haven't noticed that yet with Cybertruck. I haven't been in any crazy storms yet since I got it, but I know in like my Model Y, the wind, if you're driving manually, you can feel the wind kind of pushing your vehicle side to side, and you're kind of correcting for that the whole time. And it's just one of those things you might not think about, but FSD is really good at correcting for that as well. And you'd never know it because the car just stays centered so well, even though it's fighting against the wind. So again, I don't think that's a factor here because the Cybertruck's so much heavier, but it's something I've noticed in the past with FSD. That's kind of like a perk that I never really thought about. All right, so moving over into these dual left turn lanes here. Turn signal comes on nice and early. And this is exactly the left turn lane we want to be in because our destination is on the right. You do have a little time. I think it actually does merge into one lane, so I think we could also be in the left turn lane. And you'd have a little time to move around and stuff, but it's kind of the beginning and ends of the drives where you had to do the more intricate stuff where FSD can have a problem. All right, so we got our green. Here's our double left turn lane. Again, this is another one where FSD can be a little sketchy because it can definitely drive over the line. Pull those cameras up so you can see. I have to look at the road. Yeah, we're just dancing on that line. Just barely. But I think that was actually okay. So we're gonna have to move over to the left here, I believe. Honestly can't remember. It's been a while since I've come this way. Oh no, it looks like we can stay here all the way until it makes us turn right. So that works out pretty well. So that's, one of those things. FSD kind of knows more than you sometimes in terms of the map data. Now, if I came here every day, of course I would know that. But since I don't come here very often, I couldn't remember. So there you go. FSD pulls in the parking lot, and you know, as of now, there's not really parking lot support. It even says in the release notes, coming soon, better performance in parking lots. But we'll let it take us to the door here. And it'll probably stop right about here. And if you don't know, FSD, once it stops, so it says autopilot navigation complete, press accelerator to resume. If I don't do anything, it'll kind of stop here, and then it'll start driving again. It'll just kind of decide it wants to go somewhere. So I'll take over here. Okay, this is where I want to go anyway, so we'll let it do its thing here. Nice and slow in the parking lot. And then I'm going to take over here. And I don't know where this guy is going, but once I have room, we'll do an auto park here. All right, I was trying to get out of someone's way, but of course they then parked. Let's see, I want to do an auto park for you guys, but it is still slow, so I don't want to be in anyone's way. I do use this pretty regularly. Again, if you know there's nobody waiting or anything, I will do it because again, like I've said, what I do is I click auto park and then I just kind of get ready, take my seatbelt off. My foot's still free. I had some pushback on that. People are like, "Oh, that's dumb. Like, what if it messed something up?" Well, I can just hit the brake at any time. My foot is still ready to hit the brake. But, you know, I can like grab my water or gather my things as I'm going. I can see the cameras. You know, it looks perfectly centered there. And so yeah, I mean that's a perfectly good auto park. No, nah, you should have just stopped. It would have been perfectly good. Now this makes it dumb. If it would have just parked, it would have been perfect. But now, like, look at all this dancing and stuff. Not bad, not bad. All right, I'll see you in part 2 going to Tesla service. All right, we're back in the exact same spot. Hopefully the camera's not too different. I accidentally punched it when I went to click record. So I'm gonna tap the brake. We're gonna be in drive, and I'm just gonna click this. And let's see if Cybertruck will take off from here, or if I will have to give it another accelerator tap. And I'm counting those as interventions because I enabled the system. Without me tapping the accelerator, we're never going to get where we're going because it won't move. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to expand this. I'm going to give it one tap, and that's all it takes. That little tap. Then it's like, oh, okay, I'll go. I don't know what's up with that, but that's how version 12 has been functioning. I don't know. For me, it was taken off from a stop for a while there, and then it just doesn't anymore. So I'm not sure. And FSD is choosing to go this way through the parking lot and exit over here after 2 stop signs. So we'll let it do its thing, man. So can now it drive itself to service with no interventions? Well, no, because I already pressed the accelerator. But all the data from these 2 drives are just going to be smushed into, you know, all the miles and disengagement and stuff are smushed together because it all goes in the same chart. And, you know, check out TeslaFSDTracker.com. They're not telling me to say that, but he's helping me make this chart. And we're improving it over time, so let me know suggestions you'd like to see. We have the data now separated by Cybertruck, by versions, by Model Y, by all this different stuff. So let's see. It is clear to go. Go. A little delay. It's fine, but, you know, now you got someone coming up here. And we weren't technically in their way, but we're like in front of them as they're going, and Cybertruck should have went faster there. Not the end of the world, but they maybe had to let off the accelerator for a second because of our slowness in pulling out in front of them. So rolling right through that red, and a little bit of, look at the wheel. Look at, I don't know. It's so weird. It's not as polished as in the Model Y. It's so strange. I can't believe it's that different is the thing, you know. But it just kind of rolls the red, which, you know, I think maybe is technically illegal. I think you're supposed to stop and then you can go just like a stop sign. But who cares? I mean, I'm not fussed about that. And then as you're turning the wheel, just kind of doing this thing. I'm not saying the Model Y never does that, but it's just so rare now to see those weird little things. And in Cybertruck, it's just common. It's so interesting. And then we'll move into this left turn lane. And that's fine. I mean, it's kind of early, but then this is a solid white line, so I guess you're supposed to move into it that early. That's all good. That was the correct move. I can't say I would have done that myself. So we get our green, FSD does not go, and I tap the accelerator. I'm also going to tap that. So there's another intervention there for you. I gave it a second, but it's just too long when you're at a light like that. It's not going to stay green long. You got a whole line of cars behind you also waiting to go. Yeah. So there's a little weird thing in the road. Don't need to do anything about it. Glad to see Cybertruck doesn't react. Now getting onto the highway. So in this portion, we'll get a lot more highway for you. This is end-to-end neural net, but we don't have the profiles or the speed adjustment like you do on 12.5.6, which we have in the Model Y. So I found, again, Model Y is better overall, but those speed profiles bring so much to the table in terms of the highway driving with the end-to-end neural net. So a really nice merge on here. The speed is okay. It's not great. I would like to see the speed limit or maybe 1 or 2 miles per hour over it rather than going under the speed limit as you merge onto the highway. This person was behind us on the on-ramp, and you can see they're very swiftly passing us. So, you know, again, that speed was good enough. It is down to opinion, but I really think you should be at the speed limit when you're getting on the highway. I don't think you should be below the speed limit, but what are you going to do? So it's not like, you know, people never do that. And I'm sure some of you will think the Cybertruck did a better job than what I'm explaining. So most of the rest of this will be highway to get us there. Let's see real quick. Yep, a couple little side streets, and that'll be that. All right, then taking our exit here. A lot of people have complaints of exits swinging too wildly. This one we kind of just drive straight into, so not a problem. But is this a roundabout up here? Or this is not a way I've taken, so I'm actually not familiar with this route, which is where I really appreciate FSD. Even though, of course, as we've already seen several times in this drive, it can still do some goofy stuff. The roads that you are not familiar with, man, if you are, you know, have some beef with FSD in certain areas where you drive and stuff, I beg you, take it somewhere where you are unfamiliar with the area and let FSD drive around. And you'll be much more impressed when you don't know anything about the area than you are in areas you're familiar with. All right, and here we are arriving at our destination. The pin is, the line's kind of ending outside, so I don't know, looks like it's gonna pull in there, which is good, and that'll be that. So, whoa, too fast. I was gonna totally miss the destination. So I will take over there so I don't miss, and you can't report when you're close to the destination. So is Cybertruck ready to do all your driving? No. Is it ready to do most of your driving? Yeah, I can do most of it. Hope you enjoyed.